Quite a busy Thursday here in the parks.
Most of the year, we're working hard to make sure it's easy for you to have fun at Knott's Berry Farm. And every fall, our focus shifts a little to scaring the heck out of you. That's why we take great pride in our grade A organic fed zombies. So the scares you get at the park are 100% pure evil.
4 new mazes and the return of the Green Witch. There's more to fear at the 40th haunt.
So today's episode of In the Park, we're gonna talk about Knott's Scary Farm 2012. One to me that 4 years later, I would return to Knott's Scary Farm after the 2008 2.5-hour visit, and then also Knott's Scary Farm's 40th anniversary. So that is something special we're gonna talk about right here and today and In the Parks. Got a ton of mazes to talk about. We're gonna show you all the locations, some stories that we have within the mazes, and what we remember from Haunt 2012. And then maybe we'll go check around some construction updates. We'll see what's going on, but let's go walk around the park and talk about what was going on for the 40th anniversary of Knott's Scary Farm. Okay, so we've walked around the park. We've gotten to talk. We were talking to a few people today. And today in the park, we're back. Location, good old Calico Stage. It's probably my new favorite location on a day like this. It's kind of busy for a Thursday. A lot of schools here, so we got things like that going on. But Knott's Scary Farm 2012, the 40th anniversary of Haunt. What can I tell you? What can I remember? First and foremost, I'm gonna start with the one that comes at the top of my brain, Pinocchio Unstrung. That maze was incredible. Over at the Red Barn over there, such a good twisted nightmare tale on the lore and the fantasy that is Pinocchio. So I really enjoyed the dark tale that they told with that one. The props were just incredible. Not only with that, I do remember going through Terror of London, which was right next door at the Mystery Lodge, and that was a very fun maze to be kind of following Jack the Ripper and his murder spree across London. It was incredible how they story told that, and I definitely enjoyed Terror of London. Such a good maze. And later on there'd be another maze that would go there with an Edgar Allan Poe theme, kind of a similar theming, called Forevermore. Another great maze that was there. But then of course we have, what was it, Uncle Bob's Slaughterhouse, That was a good one. That was where currently Chilling Chamber sits now, and that one was definitely an interesting one. It was very Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes with cannibalism and whatnot. And you go down to the slaughterhouse, you go down to the restaurant, and you are essentially the meal. So that was a lot of fun to go through, and I do remember enjoying that one a lot.
Well, thank you, meat tastes so yum. Special spices. My dreams. Say our main ingredients of meat.
Eat you right up.
How do you like your I like my raw.
Now, as you guys can tell, in 2012, I was a lot more open to the idea of coming to a haunt. I had gone to Halloween Horror Nights the year before, loved it, which was in 2011. Came back to Knott's Scary Farm in 2012 because I wanted to experience it again because I didn't have such a great experience in the 2008 year, as we mentioned in the first episode. But came back in 2012, happened to be the 40th anniversary, and just had a great time. Unfortunately, after this 2012 year, I wouldn't come back again to 2018, and that was when we started striking interest on the channel to cover Knott's Scary Farm more on the channel. But back to the 2012 year, I mean, there was so much entertainment going on. There was the scare zones, of course, the log ride. The log ride was doing having actors in it still, and they were doing an Evil Dead theme. That was like one of the last IPs, I believe, that was here, and that was really cool to have an Evil Dead themed log ride, which was really cool, and it fits the theming of the log ride.
Wow.
And then, of course, you had Virus Z with a Carrie ending, because I think the remake of Carrie was coming out the next year and they were doing a little marketing for that. So Virus Z was here. I don't remember going through Virus Z.
Do not use telephones for any other reason.
However, I do remember going through the mazes in the back lot, which at the time were Trick or Treat, Delirium, Dominion of the Dead, and Delirium were Bloodline, and of course 8 Figures 9 sits, and they were connected back to back. I really miss when they used to do the back to back thing where you come out of one maze and go straight into the next maze. It was a little bit of gap outside between buildings, but it was a lot of fun. Made the mazes flow faster, and you got through more a lot faster. So that was really cool. I wish they would come back and do that again, but they did a really good job with those ones.
Welcome to the gallery.
And then Trick or Treat, of course, was in the Waxworks building, actually known as the Trick or Treat building. But Trick or Treat, iconic maze. I don't think anything more has to be said about that maze. I think that when it comes to technology, when it comes to effects, when it comes to everything that they accomplished with that maze, it was way ahead of its time. And I think that's what really opened those doors for another great maze that would come in the future, and we'll talk about it, which was Paranormal Inc. So yeah, Trick or Treat did a freaking phenomenal job of opening those doors as to what they can do with the effects and mazes and whatnot. And then there was Endgames where it sits where Widow sits now. Endgames was an interesting one, very apocalyptic style, you know, Carnage kind of maze, Mad Max style, but like horror version of that. They did a good job with Endgames. I remember there was like a picture you can take right before you go into the maze, and they trigger something so you can get scared. That way your reaction of you getting scared was the picture that you could buy. Great photo op for Knott's Scary Farm. I think they stopped doing that because it was holding up the line, but I do remember them doing that, and that was a lot of fun.
No, I got no respect for
I think I covered most of the mazes that year that were there. Oh, Uncle Bobo's Big Top Circus was right there where Accelerator is at, where Mesmer is currently, and that was of course the circus themed maze. I feel like every time they have the opportunity, other than like Shadowlands, they try to put a circus themed maze within the boardwalk area to kind of fit the theming of Carnival. So I think it was really cool that that maze was the one to kind of have the reins of that.
What's your name? I'm Uncle Bobo. You can call me Daddy.
Hi, how you doing? I'm a fish. Look me up online. I'm actually a mermaid. Yeah. People don't find us up in the
But yeah, it was such a great year. Ghost Town, Carnival poppin'. Such a fun year. I think the 40th was another one of those milestone years where like if you were there, you were there. If you weren't, you weren't. I remember the opening ceremony had the witch that was really freaking cool. And I believe that might have been one of the last years they put the giant inflatable spider on top of the entrance at Knott's Scary Farm. Anyone remembers that, you know, leave some comments below for that. But yeah, Knott's Scary Farm 2012, that was for me the return, and it furthered my love for the haunt world. After having gone to Halloween Horror Nights the year prior to that, you know, I went to Halloween Horror Nights, I think that 2012 year we went, and then we went to Knott's Scary Farm that year, so it was a really good, solid year. I wouldn't be returning to Knott's Scary Farm until 2018, and that was when Nights of Horror was already started, and I wouldn't even be covering Knott's Scary Farm that year. It wouldn't be till 2019 we officially start doing reviews, updates, and walkthroughs and vlogs at Knott's Scary Farm, but we would talk about it in 2018, and we're gonna get there eventually on this series and in the park. But today we're talking about 2012 Knott's. Next episode, for episode 3, we're gonna actually be at Universal Studios Hollywood talking about 2011 Halloween Horror Nights and maybe 2012. So that might be the next 2 episodes for In the Park. Who knows? I have a lot of history with Halloween Horror Nights. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We're gonna head out of the park. Thank you for joining me in the parks. Now let's go leave the park.